Three, two, one. So, hello, welcome to the YouTube channel. My name's Abdul Sulayman, and today we have the preview show for the 59 kg weight class, the 66 and the 74 kg weight class. First of all, we have Ishtyaq here with us, a 59 kg junior lifter, lifting in the open, hoping to secure his route to Worlds, I'm guessing. And the floor is yours, man. So introduce yourself. Who are you? What have you accomplished so far? And just a nice little introduction.
So hi everyone, my name is Ishtyaq. Mojeed, thanks for having me on as a guest. Actually, I'm very excited to be on this. I'm a 59 kg lifter. This is actually my first year as an open, so I aged out this year. So,
okay.
I'm looking to do open nationals now, but so far in terms of my accomplishments, I'm the 2022 and 2021 British Junior Champion in 59s. But despite that, I do actually have all the open bench, deadlift and total records, which I took in 2021. Last year was a bit of a down year for me. There was performances, even though I got strong in the gym, I just didn't put in a platform. So this year I'm looking to rectify that. So I got into powerlifting I started powerlifting 3 years ago. My first ever meet was on the 29th of February, 2020. It was like 2 weeks before the lockdown. So
you've only been powerlifting about 3 years?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Well, I consider like from when I started my first powerlifting meet, or when I started powerlifting, but yeah, I've been training obviously longer than that. Like I started working out when I was in 2016, so I've been working out for 4 years, but then I started dedicating to powerlifting like 3 years ago. So the way I got into it was, obviously I was lifting at commercial gyms and stuff beforehand, and there aren't many like guys obviously my weight or height, but compared to like the average commercial gym person, I was usually lifting like the same weights as them, even though I was a lot lighter. Then when I got to uni, that's when people told me about like, you should compete in powerlifting, you do very well in your weight class. So then I looked up like the records. At the time, I didn't think I could break any of them because obviously I hadn't been training powerlifting like that. But there was one record which I thought I could break because it was the deadlift record at the time was 220 kg. I think my best gym lift around that time was about 225. So obviously I didn't know any of the rules back then as well, but basically I just thought all you have to do to take a record to just go to any meet and then go higher than that. But then I found out on the day that you can't break records at local meets. So I think I loaded up 220 to match the record on my third, but then I think I locked it out, but then I lost my grip at the end.
Oh shit, fair enough then. I think that's why everyone kind of starts off is kind of like regular gym goer. A lot of people tend to get into that university route, and then they find powerlifting and find training. They find that, I can actually compete in a sport that is gym related, and then you kind of get hooked from there. And then you've been doing it for 3 years now, so hopefully, we've got you for a few more years.
Yeah, I definitely plan to stay a few more years. So this year, as I said earlier, I'm looking to enjoy what I've done previously, because last year was down performances. So in terms of this year, I want to hit. It won't happen at nationals, but obviously I want to use nationals as like a qualifier for worlds. So depending on that, either at worlds I want to hit 10 times body weight, or if I don't go worlds, then I want to hit that as 10 times body weight at all England, so then I could up my record a bit more, and then I'm done with the weight class. I plan to go up to 66.
Oh, that's interesting, because I like that. All right, so let's get into the previous show, right? So we've got the 59 kg weight class in the men's. First off, so we have yourself ranked number 1. We have, I like to call him wildcard Aftab. You know, he's an interesting character. He's signed up for the 59 kg weight class, which will be very interesting. We have Ibn Muhammad also in the weight class, and we have Ibrahim Chowdu and Lahiru Soren. I believe I pronounced those correctly. So for first position, right, we'll quickly go through it. We have you in first position. I think you're kind of guaranteed unless something goes wrong, just based off your best lifts so far. We have your best lifts in competition are 180 squat. You have a 127.5 kg bench, which clearly you've gone way beyond past that. And you have a 260 kg deadlift, which you haven't really caught up with. Is that fair to say in 2022? Deadlift kind of seemed to be up and down for yourself.
Yeah, my deadlift is pretty up and down. Like, it's just, I haven't been able to somehow peak it in. Like, I've hit like rep PRs and stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to get it on the platform, but obviously I made some adjustments I've changed my peaking strategy this time around. Where
Okay.
previously I used to lift way too heavy the week out for my squat and deadlift used to get impacted the most. So this time I'm actually going to take it a bit lighter and then and hopefully see if that gets it back up. But yeah.
Oh, that's good then. So based off those numbers, right, I think your best total so far is 557.5. Based off your gym lifts and things I've seen on social media from the look of things, I have you around a 570 total, give or take. So that's me giving you a 185 kg squat, a 140 kg bench, and a 255 kg deadlift. Because I if you're over that qualifying total for the Worlds team, I have a feeling you won't send it and try and do 260 or more than 260 on the day.
Yeah, around what I'm aiming for, somewhere around. Well, I think I'll be hitting somewhere between 560 to 580 on the day. The only thing is like my bench, because obviously the rule, and then I have to slightly tweak my shoulder a little bit, but yeah, it just depends how much I can recover that by the day. But I think 560 to 580 is where I'll be around.
Okay. Right, so right up next to we have Aftab. He's competed as a 66 kg lifter last year, and he totaled 570. Now, I've seen Aftab in person. First time I met him, I was absolutely surprised because he looks completely different from when he's on the platform, because he's competed as a 59 kg lifter, and I'm guessing the cuts are very harsh to get into that weight class. In person, he's very full, but by the time he cuts down to 59, so I'm guessing there's a big cut involved to get down to that weight class. But he's also put up a massive 570 kg total as a 66. Now the question is, having that longer period of time to train in the 66 kg weight class, will he be able to retain at least 70, 80%, or even 90% of that strength as a 59 kg lifter? Now, where that makes that interesting is because obviously if you have a terrible squat day or a terrible bench day, like you said, if Aftab is able to pop 550, we have a battle.
Yeah, I think with Aftab, as you said, he's a complete wild card. Like, I've looked at his open powerlifting. I haven't met him in person yet, but from what I've seen, he's really big. Like, I think he's quite a bit taller than me as well.
He's a big guy, yeah.
Yeah, so he's like, and I saw like his meet that he done 66 was only 2 months afterwards, and he already like filled out 66. So to me, that tells me it's more so a massive water cut that he takes. And when you do water cuts like that, I think it's extremely difficult to maintain it, especially when you're extremely lean like him. Like, I've seen him shredded. He looks shredded. Like, he has no fat on him from what I've seen. So yeah, if he can maintain his total, yeah, I'd see a battle, but that's just a question, and that's a wild card. I think that's a bigger wild card than me having a terrible day, basically. But yeah, there is the possibility of that.
Okay. All right, fair enough then. So we have Aftab, potentially a very strong favourite for second position. And then behind Aftab, we have Ibnu Muhammad, and we also have Ibrahim Chowdu, and we have Lairu. Now, I've done a little bit of research on these lifters. Two of them don't really have any social media, but just to throw the ball in your court, who do you have coming in third?
So yeah, I follow both of them as well. I think I'll give third to Ibnu because he looks like slightly more overall rounded lifter. Lairu, he has a big bench on him. Like, he's benched 135 kg in the gym, which is close to what I've done in the gym and above my current total record. But I just think Ibnu overall, he has better squat and deadlift, so he will get that third.
Yeah, I think I went for exactly the same pick. I think Ibnu's just his last competition, he sandbagged that deadlift. That 215 deadlift was an easier opener. I've seen his 180 squat, 185 squat on social media. Looks very strong, looks very easy. He hasn't really posted any hard lifts or hasn't actually even pushed himself in competition. So I reckon by the time the competition comes around, he's got somewhere around maybe 520, maybe 530. Now, if Aftab is overshooting, I feel like Ibnu could easily sneak into that second position, and have a good day himself. Well, it's a very interesting field. I think for myself, I have you first position. I have Ibnu I have Aftab for second, and I have Ibnu for third. But if Aftab feels comfortable enough, or if you give him the chance to feel comfortable enough to chase you, then things might open up for Ibnu if somebody misses on that day.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
The way I see it is like, obviously not everyone has perfect days, but I'm like first, Aftab's clear second, Ibnu's third, but then let's say I'm messing up and Aftab's having a good day, we'll be battling. But vice versa, if Aftab's messing up, then Abdul's having a good day, they'll be battling for the second as well.
All right, so next up, we're gonna get your picks for the 66 kg weight class, the one that you might be moving into the future. I've told you multiple times, 66 is your weight class, man. But we have Kibra Ali. I think everyone knows Kibra at this point. We have Kibra Ali, we have Joseph Diva, we have Daniel J, we have Gregory Person, we have Kai Ho Chan, we have Robin Bermudez, and Jacob Dons. I'm quickly gonna go through first, second, and third picks. We can discuss, but we can start from third position. Is that fair? And then we'll slowly work our way up, or is first kind of more clear and then we can work backwards? Which would you rather we do?
I'd say we go third first this time.
Third first.
So
Okay.
I'll go for third. For me, I think I'll have Daniel J in third. Now, if we're just based off training lifts, I think Daniel has the potential for like second or even battling for one. But I know from what I've heard, he cuts a lot of weight, and in his last comp, he like lost a lot of that strength from cutting. And from the inside sources I've heard, he's kind of heavy again. So yeah, it's just a case of whether he can translate that onto the platform. But the person I have in second, which I'll talk about later, I think is a lot more reliable. Like whatever I see from him on training, that will translate off to the platform. So yeah, I have Daniel in third, but he does have some big lifts in fitness game. Like he's done volume work with 170 kg squats. Like he's tempoed like 4x4 on deadlifts.
Yeah.
It's a lot, 66, and then yeah, he's done 10 reps with 110 touching girls as well. So it'd be interesting to see how that transfers over. But I have him in third just because like I'm unsure in terms of how well it'll transfer over, and based on his previous meet when he done 66, it didn't transfer over that well.
Okay, so yeah, I think I think Daniel J is a safe pick. Just in third position, we have a bit of a battle to an extent. Daniel J is slightly further ahead, but like you said, he cuts a lot of weight. I think his best numbers are 185 kg squat, but you've seen him on social media repping 174 3x10. Some insane volume work. So clearly, I think he squats around the 200 kg mark at this point. Bench, I haven't seen a lot on social media. His best bench is 137.5 kg. I think based off the amount of progress he seems to have made on squat and also deadlift, I think he's around that 140 mark, give or take, giving him the extra benefit of 2.5 over the last 2 years he's competed or something like that. And then in terms of deadlift, he's pulled 260 kg in training, or 240, sorry. He's pulled 240, but then he's done volume work with pause deadlifts with 220 or give or take or something like that. So I think he's somewhere around the 600 kg mark. Total wise, if he has an amazing day and the cut doesn't affect him too much. But then if he has a terrible day with cutting and his best total is only around 562.5, there's a kid called Gregory Person. He's a sub-junior. It's insane. I'm looking through his Instagram. Now, I am a bit conflicted. There are two people in this weight class actually that I'm a bit conflicted about, or I think in the 74. He trains equipped. So he trains equipped bench and he trains equipped deadlifts. And he's pulled 250 for 3 sets of 2 equipped. Now, conventional deadlift and equipment, I think if you can pull 250 in equipment, you're fairly close raw because you don't get a lot of the equipment itself. But his bench is also equipped. I don't know how easily he's balancing that equipped training with raw training, how he's going to peak for the competition. But just based off what I'm seeing, I've seen him repping 190 kg for triples in training also. I think he might be somewhere around a 580 kg total. Now, if Daniel J isn't having a good day, you know, if that water core is affecting him too much, if he's overshooting to maybe chase, for example, Joey in second position, I think Gregory might be able to sneak in, you know. And there's also John Bermudez with a 550 total, but again, loads of room for improvement on that total. He could also be chasing for third position with Daniel J. So that three-way battle for third position will be very, very interesting to see on the day. But yeah, like I said, I think Daniel J is a safe pick to go for. Right, so breaking news. I've just received some ridiculous video on my phone. It's obviously, I've made my predictions for the 66 kg weight class. Daniel J, third position. But he's coming. That's all I'll say. It's definitely coming. So, yeah, have fun. Shit.
Yeah, with that, yeah, I do see. I think Gregory, like, yeah, he's crazy strong. Like 16 years. Actually, he might even be 15 since the year just started. But yeah, he's looking like, just based on what I've seen on training, for mid to high 500s. So yeah, Daniel's having a bad day. I could definitely see him sneaking that third.
Yeah.
Robin as well. I know he's coming back from an injury, so it's hard to tell if he's going to be able to make an improvement on where he was before. So I think Robin might be a bit further away, and this is an interesting case as well. But Robin, he does have an issue with bench depth. If you've seen his videos, like it is like I say about mine's way. I think mine is borderline, but I think his is.
It's high. Yeah, it's high. From what we've seen on social media, it's definitely high.
Yeah, so that might really bite him as well. So I do think more so that if there is a slip up, it'll be Gregory who might take that third rather than Robin. But as of now, I do Daniel in third.
Well, just to let you know, Kibra, I posted on my story. Kibra slid in my DMs and said, "Hey, I'm number one, right? If I'm going to give my picks, I'm number one. There's no question about that. But Robin is someone to watch out for. And he thinks he's made a lot of progress. So it'll be very interesting to see what Robin can bring on the day. If he can sneak into the third position or maybe even second. You know, if he's having an amazing day, who knows what could happen. He's also very, very light for the weight class. Compared to these guys who might be cutting into the weight class, Robin is eating in. He's kept on training over the last few months. So we'll see what he can do on the day. But I think I'll go for myself. I'll also go Daniel J for my third pick, with Gregory very, very close behind if he's having an amazing day. And then for second position, I'm a bit conflicted, but I think I have to go just based off the stats. Kibra is just too far ahead, and he will be loading that last deadlift. And based on that 270 deadlift he did at Super Training, his top end looks ridiculous. But for my second position, I'm going to have Joseph Diva. I'm going to have Joey with a massive total. I think he's going to go over 610, potentially maybe 620. Now, this is where it gets interesting, right? I think Joey, because Joey recently posted a he's not posted, he barely posts, but he uploaded on social media 215 kg squat, which looked RP8, give or take, right? So I think he's somewhere around the 220 squat, which is almost 15 kg over what he's done previously, 203. Bench, I think he might be around 157, give or take 155, and then deadlift around 250, which he missed last competition he did. I think he'll be able to secure that. Now, I think that puts him around a 620 kg total. If Kibra, I know he has a monster deadlift, right? But if Kibra overshoots on his squat, because I feel like Kibra might be coming to this competition. No, he's got the first place locked up. Now, the question is, how close can he get to that qualifying total for the open team, right? If he overshoots on his squat, and that 242.5 he did last Super Training was strong, but he complained that he felt weak from the opener, and death was close, right? If he shoots for a heavy squat and misses that third attempt, you're talking about 10, 15 kilos off his best total. Now that's massive, right? And that could open a door for Joey to sneak in with a big deadlift, right? But I think for second position, I'll have Joey with a 610 maybe total, 620, who knows? Who do you have for your second position?
So yeah, for me, I have Joey in second and Kibria in first. So I think I've talked to Kibria on his last performance. The reason why he felt weak was because he was heavier than he usually is. So he was around 69 and he overshot his cut. So this time around, he's actually a lot lighter. He's dropped down a kg. So that's why you saw like his squat struggled quite a bit, his bench as well. But then obviously as he recomped his deadlift, or once he had fully recomped his deadlift, was completely fine. Like his squat and deadlift was just through the roof. So compared to everyone else. So I think, yeah, he's the heavy favorite for first. I think Joey, obviously heavy favorite for second. From what I've seen in his training, he's going to have a massive improvement from his previous comps. I can see him going around that 620 mark as well. Like that would be almost a 40 kg improvement from last year, which is a lot for an experienced lifter. Like he's been powerlifting since 2016, so that's a huge improvement. For someone that's experienced. But yeah, I had seen him around that 215 to 220 squat, about 160 bench possibly. Okay. The deadlift is the one that, even when he does post occasionally, deadlift is the one that he never posts. So I don't know.
Yeah, so you can't never really gauge where it's actually at.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably around that 250 as well if he's going well. So yeah, I think Joey's like somewhere in the 610 to 620. Now, this is an interesting question because obviously we know nationals, it's going to be used for what's called qualifying totals for worlds. So 66 currently, no one has hit the A total at all before. The question is, will Kibria hit that or not? So for him, he'd need a 17.5 kg improvement on his current total. I believe, based on what I've seen on his training, that he will hit that. But
660 total.
It's 650.
650. Oh yeah. So yeah, to be honest with you, I do have him. I think his top end with an amazing day. I've given him a 245 kg squat. That's playing it safe. I think just based off the last competition, he's strong, but you don't want to risk it too much. His bench is his bench. There's nothing we can do about that there. I know he's working hard on it, but I've given him a 125 kg bench with the hope they can eventually do it and hopefully make Espin give him some respect. And then I have him at a 282.5 kg deadlift, which is massive. But based off his 270, that looked like a second attempt. So I think that puts him at a 652.5 kg total. So it'll be very interesting to see what he does. But those numbers are big. And if he shoots for those numbers and misses, you know, it can get very interesting. So next up, we have the 74 kg men's weight class. This will be an interesting battle. I think it depends on what happens. One individual changes the whole game. This relies on one person, and we will know by the first 3 attempts what's going to happen. So first up, we have Dilo Nelson in the weight class. We have Saber Mir. We have Sam Dew. We have Jordan Partigan. We have Luke Rogers. We have Alexander Fodor. We have Steve Tyers, Malcolm Long, John Bermudez, Ben Paul. It's a full weight class. Third pick. Do you want to go first, or should I go first?
So
Okay.
this, I think, is the hardest weight class because, as you said, the winner relies on what happens on the one person. But then even after that, there's like, I think 4 guys that can make the podium as well. So yeah, for me, I have in third Luke Rogers. So I think So Luke Rogers, obviously he's done, his previous meet was about, I think 615 in super training, but he said that he injured himself like 2 weeks out. And he has a much higher total from about 4 years ago when he became British champion at 685. So I'd say for Luke Rogers, he's going to be, based on what I've seen on him training, it looks like he'll be somewhere in the mid to high 600s if he puts it on the platform. So I'm thinking more so slightly less than what he's already done for his all-time best. So I've got him in third. So the person who I think could battle him for that third place will be Saber Mir. So Saber, his training looks a bit down from Luke Rogers, but it does look kind of on a similar level. So I think if Luke has another bad day like he did in the super training meet, then I think Saber can take that. But because Luke has done a lot more in the past, that's why I'm putting him in third. I feel like once you've done something before, it's a lot easier to get that back than gaining new strength. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, that makes total sense, to be honest with you. I think for third position, there is a battle. There is Alexander Fodor. He's also there. He's a bit harder to place because I had a look through his Instagram. It's mostly equipped training again. Not a lot of raw lifting, but massive 228 kg squat, 160 kg bench, and a 265 kg deadlift. Now, next up we have Luke Rogers. Like you mentioned, massive 685 kg total, was done back in 2019. Luke he's not been back to that 2019 standard. This was where it got a bit conflicting for me because I also looked through his Instagram. His best squat is a 248 kg squat. He looks more around the 240 range. Just based off the training I can see. His best bench is 142.5. He looks more around the 135, 132.5 kg range. And his best deadlift is a massive 295 kg. He looks around 280. That's the most I could feel myself pushing to give him. Now, he's not posted a lot, and his super training meet didn't exactly reflect the best of his abilities, so it depends on what he can put for this competition. And then we also have Jordan Partigan, who had a massive 235 kg squat. He recently posted doubling 225 for doubles, nice and easy and comfortable. A 150 bench, could easily push that to 155, 160. I think he might be somewhere around the 660 total, right? So if we were taking Luke Rogers' best total, I think he's a secure third position, right? But if we're looking at a slightly weaker version of Luke Rogers, I think he's more around the 650 kg total. I think Jordan is around the 660 total. And I also think Saber, who looked very strong as last meet he did, massive. He went for 290 kg pull. That's insane. At like 74 kg weight class, he can pull clearly. And he was saying the gym was cold on that day. I think he's around the 675 kg total. So I think he's a secure third pick. Interesting enough, I'd like to see who you picked for your second and first, because I think you picked Luke Rogers. So I think Saber potentially is I think I want to go with Saber for third position, right? I think Saber, with that massive 290 kg deadlift, he might be able to pull whatever he needs to secure third. And I think he might just be able to edge out Luke Rogers and Jordan for that third position. But Jordan's very, very strong. Luke Rogers is very strong. It depends on who comes out on the day with the best version of themselves. But I think I'll give my third position to Saber.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I see third between those three. I do think Jordan probably has the lowest top end out of all of them. So
Yes.
that's why I don't think he's as high. Luke, I think he has the highest top end, but it's hard to tell because of his previous meet. And then Saber, the main reason I didn't put him ahead is because he did say at his last meet he had an adductor injury, and also his squat is by far the weakest out of all the guys.
Okay.
So he's gonna be quite a bit behind. And I don't think he has a massive deadlift, but Luke Rogers' deadlift is about 5-10 kilos less from what we can see currently. So I don't think he's got enough in hand to overtake Luke for that third.
Fair enough.
But it'll be close for that third.
It will be close. So who do you have for your second position?
So the second and first, it all depends on if the guy, the wild card, is healthy or not. But I'm gonna say he is healthy, and I'm gonna have Sam Dew in second for this. So I've seen Sam's training, and his most recent meet in the White Lights Media one, he's absolutely smoked 640. Like every single attempt looked like an RP8 or something. And then just based on his volume work and training, it looks like he has another 40-50 kilos in him. Higher. So I have him easily in the high 600s, maybe touching 7, but I think somewhere between 680 to 690, which is I'm comfortable with.
So, just like you mentioned, Sam Dew is a very, very strong lifter. I have so his best squat so far is that 262.5 kg squat. If there's anyone in the 74 kg class that can rival Dylan in the squat, it's probably Sam Dew, and his technique is perfect, like it's clean. That's 262.5 kg squat combined with his best 160 kg bench. I think he can maybe push that to 165 if he has a good day. I don't know if he cuts into the weight class. That's the only thing I'm unsure about. And then also a massive 260 deadlift, which he could potentially push to maybe 265, 270. I think that's just enough to get him to 700. But unfortunately, I don't think it's enough to catch up with Dylan. I mean, Dylan is an absolute monster. And the thing is, like you said in the beginning, we'll know within the first 3 attempts. Dylan can basically load whatever he wants to load. Now, Dylan is injured, like you mentioned, but looking back at the data, Dylan was injured for Nationals last year. So it's like Dylan is always injured. It's just that's the way it is. Like Dylan is always injured. And when Dylan was injured, he put up a massive 281 kg squat, which gave him that legendary 710.5 kg total. So I think Dylan is injured, but we've seen Dylan injured before, and Dylan injured is still very strong. So I think he'll be good enough. His best squat is a 300 kg squat in the 74 kg class, which he did in the gym. Ridiculous monster squat. I don't think he's good enough for 300, just based off the injury. It wouldn't make sense to push so hard. His goal would be to secure a position for the team spot. So I think he's good for maybe a 280 again, more than 280, maybe 280, 290. If he puts up a 280, 290, it's kind of wrapped. Sam D has to catch up at that point. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens on the day. I think Dylan's good for maybe a 280, 290 squat, 155 kg bench, 160. He's been chasing that 155 for a long period of time. I think he'll eventually get it, maybe push it to 160, give or take. And also, I think his best deadlift is that 280. I don't know if he's pushed his deadlift anymore over the last few months. I'm guessing if he's had to deal with injuries with the back, he's potentially had a little drop off in the deadlift also. So I think he's somewhere around the 270, 280 deadlift again. So I think he's good for 710, potentially a 720 kg total, if everything clicks correctly for him on the day. But I have Dylan in my first position and Sam in second position.
Dylan for the exact same reason. Even though he's injured, he had the exact same circumstances last year and he still put up that 710. So I'm not making that same mistake this year. I had him on predictions for not winning last year, but then he just won it easily. So so Dylan has shown he can hit 700 plus even when he's injured, while everyone else hasn't hit 700 yet, even when they're going amazing. So that's why I still think Dylan's done one. But we'll see after squats, basically, if he's ran away with it or if he's battling for the win.
Exactly. And if Dylan doesn't have a good day, then the 74 kg class becomes an absolute like a battle class. Like it's everyone's sending a big deadlift at this point and trying to pull to first position or second. But it's very interesting, the 59, 66, 74s. We're starting to get more lifters toward the top end, you know. We're starting to get more battles coming through, and hopefully we see a lot more lifters show up next year, and really make this class even more competitive than it is already. So thank you very much for coming on to the preview show, our first guest. Hopefully we have more lifters and more people also show up for the next few ones that we do in the future, as long as I can edit them on time and commit to the editing process. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, man. We're very excited to see your growth in powerlifting. I'm hella excited, man, like very, very excited. And then wishing you all the best. So see you in a few weeks, my man. No problem.